Okay, now this it's good. It's got shape to it.
It took me ages.
Did it? Yeah. No, it's good. I like the structure of it. So it's kind of tone things and just some and some technical things about the. So this is, if it's action, if it's describing what's going on. Generally speaking, it won't be in capitals. Okay, so slugline is always in capitals.
When I did it, I just googled like an example. I just copied out the.
Okay, but it's kind of doing that automatically for you. So basically here, take it out of capitals, apart from the names of the characters. Okay, it shouldn't take you too long. I want to know a bit more about him, and you need to say
like a backstory.
Well, no, more like just a little description. If you think a producer's looking at this and they're going to go, well, who is this guy? So what they want to know is 17, in college, or I don't know if he's a school, something, or he's going to work, isn't
he? Yeah.
Remember, we're probably going to have a 17-year-old person playing it. Sorry. Probably going to have a 17-year-old person playing him. So you might want to just bring the age down a bit, call him 20 or 19 or something like that, and just a bit of description: brown, curly hair, blonde hair, a little kind of colour of his room. What does he make a sound when he realises there's no phone and no mail? I don't know. What cupboard is this? Like food cupboard?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Why doesn't he open the fridge instead of the cupboard? Because that's Because you wouldn't, in a cupboard you'd find tins of stuff, whereas if he opens the fridge and
it's empty.
Yeah. Good. And the other thing, the great thing you could do there that's really easy to do and is kind of stylish, is the fridge shot. When you put the camera, you just put the camera and keep it running in there. You keep it running. So that's the one from Fight Club.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you can get his reaction, like looking in and going.
Yeah, and when he opens it as well.
Yeah, so you cut from him opening it to leaving the camera in there, and then you do a continuity cut to him opening, and then you could see his face. Yeah, it's just a styly bit that's really easy to do. So you might want to think about that. So lowercase, not capitals. Lowercase, not capitals. That's the slug line. Good. Lowercase, not capitals. This should all be in one action. Yeah, just one block of it. Ideally. I think a bit of description of Ben here. So a homeless man, Ben, curled up in the cold.
Yeah.
He is young, about the same age as Hunter, holding a sign or
them things I say
something like that.
Something. Yeah.
You know, a bit of description. He's wrapped in blankets, or he's or he's got a plastic bag, or again, just a little kind of word sketch to give a visual impression of him, because at the moment it's just like homeless guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so a bit more detail on that. I think he's not going to say I would. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, when I was writing it, I didn't know how to how to describe it, like a conversation between them.
Yeah, it sounds a bit formal to say I will. Take a minute. Again, lowercase for that. So here I think you would say a montage.
Yeah, but
cutting to
like him
him.
waking up and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well,
Oh wait.
no, it's in the
No.
office, isn't it?
Oh no, yeah. That's
So,
later on.
so you need to show him, for example, working,
and then looking at the time.
and then you could do a point of view shot of the clock working. Point of view is show, to show time passing slowly. That would be a technique for that. Where are we going to film work?
I just thought like a classroom or something.
A classroom's going to look like a classroom. That's the trouble. You haven't got anywhere you could get into.
No, not really. I think it could just be on like a laptop or something. Be like.
Yeah, but the problem with film is you just can't lie. You know, if it's filmed in a classroom, it's going to look like a classroom. Elliot, I don't know why have I recorded this. You're just chatting with Joe. So we need to think about that. If you've got I mean, the place that lots of people film in is the conference room. Have you been up there? Yeah. I'm just wondering how you could say. I mean, you could do it so you're saying, yeah, well, you've got this power. You know, everyone's coming in for this PowerPoint presentation.
And it could be like someone, like let's say he has papers or something.
Yeah.
And then he's looking at, instead of like a clock, he could be looking at his phone to check the time.
Yeah. But then you could have him going. So what you could shoot is the outside of an office. Yeah. And him walking towards the outside of an office, any old office that kind of fits in with your view. Then you could shoot him walking up the stairs outside the conference room. And then you could cut to inside the conference room. And then Steve, whoever the boss is, says to him, you've got a presentation to do in here. And I'm not happy with how it's going. I want you to wait in here, and I'm going to come in and see what I want you to wait for people to come or something like that. I want to see what you've done. And then there's a reason for him being in that room. It's not an office, but it is a kind of posh,
like a workplace.
Yeah. And then Kate comes in there and says, "Oh, what are you doing here?" Yeah. And again, everyone's going to be 17, aren't they? So
it could be like a work experience place.
That's a good idea. Then you might just need a Steve to be older.
Yeah.
If you can get. Yeah, so an internship or an apprenticeship or something like that. That's good. And she's another intern.
Yeah.
And then also, if you're filming up there, there's an office just across the way, which is Miss Tobin's, and you might be able to get in there. Anyway, we can cheat the office. Yeah, and so when you change a place, you've got to put a slug line in there.
Mm-hmm.
You put one there.
Yeah, I think I forgot to do that.
Yeah, and so you've got the dialogue there, and then you need to put a slug line in there. Oops, where did that go? So interior office coffee, you correct that. And similarly, when he goes into there, you need a slug line here. Yeah. Again, get rid of the capitals.
Mm-hmm.
should have. Right, Joe, am I going to have to move you away? Because I don't think either of you are getting good work done here. Just watch your. I'm just doing spellings here. I wonder on the montage thing, again, this is difficult because I think you need to get around that some way, because if you think about it, you'd have to shoot the homeless guy in order for it to seem to be lots of different days, he'd have to be in a different place probably.
Yeah, I was talking about just doing it when he wakes up every day, like, you know, when
in the house.
Yeah, and he keeps such, like, you know, you like slap your alarm to.
Yeah,
and do that.
Okay.
Because the whole thing's long.
Give it to her. She's in the light blue over there. Thanks, Victoria.
If I do that, that's just long.
Yeah, I mean the thing that you could. Yeah, because otherwise he has to be dressed differently to show.
It's a lot of effort, just.
Yeah. Okay. But I think what might be good is if he puts the eviction notice on his bedside table, so that he keeps looking at it, but he hasn't opened it.
Yeah.
Or each time on the bedside table there's another one.
Oh, so it's like it's racking up.
Yeah. Because then it kind of keeps the theme of the homelessness going, and the problems. The problem needs to be solved, and it built up in the montage. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. But then we have the problem. How can we establish that he's. Okay. All right. I'm trying to think about how to get around this. So the other thing you do is you go back to this scene, and at the end, so he says to him, "What's your name?" And he says, "Ben." He says, "Ben, I walk past here on the way to work every day. I'll see you tomorrow." Yeah. And
so
then
they have a friendship.
And then rather than going past him every day, go back to the bedside table, and on the bedside table he has a little jar or a bowl or something like that that says "money for Ben." So each morning, as well as hitting the alarm, looking at the new letter, he also, before he goes out, takes some money for him, and then we know that he's giving him money without having to set up the scene.
Yeah, sure.
That makes sense. And then when he says, "You've always made my life better every day," we don't have to think. The audience won't think, "Well, how do we know that?"
Yeah.
So we need to think about how to fake that.
I thought you just have him like walking up to the what's it called, the machine, and then it has him like pressing, you know, that little keep like.
No, I know. I'm just wondering how you get it up on how you might have to superimpose a screen over the screen that you shoot. Yeah. The other problem I would anticipate is if you start filming ATMs, you might get people coming up and tapping you on the shoulder and saying, "What are you doing?" Because people drive lorries or drag them out of the wall to steal them. So they might just think that you're casing it to steal it. So we might have to get around that some way. He might have to get back home with the card
do it on, like,
and do an
laptops,
online banking thing. I mean, it's appealing to have that there, but and then the other thing about having people gathering around.
That's more people to get involved.
Yeah.
It could just be a one-on-one thing.
Well, it's difficult.
Or like he doesn't actually witness it, and then afterwards he says, "Oh, Ben gave you this," and then it's just a piece of paper, just so he doesn't have to actually.
Yeah. So maybe he has a conversation with him when he gets to the place
It's
where
already over. It's already died.
there's just his blanket there or whatever, and he goes and
then like
someone comes past, or he goes in somewhere, a shop or something, if you can get access to anywhere.
Yeah.
And they say, "Where's Ben gone?" And he said, "No, mate, had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Ambulance took him away half an hour ago. He did leave this for you, though." He said, "You don't know who Hunter is?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm Hunter.
Yeah.
He did leave this for you." And there's an envelope with Hunter. And he opens the envelope.
And that's when you can just avoid the whole like ATM and everything like
that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then he goes home, and then he finds out on his laptop some business with the eviction notice. I don't know, something like that. Good. All right. So put in the slug lines.
And change it to lowercase.
Change the lowercase on this. Put in the little cheats that we've thought about. Well, it's all on the tape. Okay.